Hi guys! Today I would like to talk to you about bingos. What is a bingo? A bingo is shit people say to convince you to have... Oh, hello, somebody just signed on. To convince you to have children when you told them not 2 seconds ago that you didn't want to have any. It's the whole misery loves company thing. Or it could be just sheer ignorance or sheer stupidity. Whatever it is, it's annoying as hell, it's rude as hell, and for the love of God, if somebody tells you they don't want kids, please don't say any of this shit to them because it will be upsetting. It's judgmental, it's obnoxious, it's rude. Just don't say it, okay? But as a disclaimer, generally the people who are saying this are the people who should not be having kids anyway. I know there are excellent parents out there. I know some excellent parents out there. There are some terrible parents out there. So when I say for your future reference that, a kid is doing some stupid shit like knocking people down in a grocery store or hiding in clothing racks at JCPenney's to scare the shit out of customers, I'm not saying everybody's kids do this. And I'm not saying that parents aren't doing their job. Some parents are not. I'm referring to these parents, not to the good ones. The good ones, keep doing what you're doing. The world needs you. Alright, so let's get started with bingo number 1. It's different when it's your own. Really? What's different? Why is it different? This bingo I take to mean that if I have a kid, I will be just as oblivious to the things that it does as you are to the shit that your kid does. Example, there is a child screaming in a restaurant. I say, oh my god, I'm so glad I never have to deal with this. And then the children friend turns to me and says, oh, but it's different when it's your own. So apparently, I will be able to tune out this screaming? I don't think so. I am an introvert. I like my peace and quiet. I like my alone time. I like my privacy. I don't want to have to put up with any unnecessary noise that I do not have to. If it is in my control, I will eradicate it. Plain and simple. So, it's different when it's my own? No. Really don't think that's the case. Next. Your child could grow up to cure cancer, or be a world-famous surgeon, or be an Olympian athlete, or what have you. Some kind of great, miraculous achievement. Is this outside of the realm of possibility? No, of course not. However, it is much, much, much more likely that any child I have grows up to be an average person. They'll be wonderful and special in, they not to say like I wouldn't if for some weird reason I did end up having a kid, not to say that it wouldn't be special to me, but it's probably not going to grow up to cure cancer or to, be a NASCAR driver or anything. Probably going to carry out just a normal average life. Or worst case scenario, your child grows up to be a criminal, a serial killer, a rapist, whatever, that's the, and not that that's always necessarily a parent's fault. It could just be the wiring of a child that determines that that's what it goes on to do with its life. Or it could be severely disabled and not have any kind of quality of life whatsoever. Do I want to take that risk? No, I really don't. Not even with the best case scenario of a perfectly average person. No. Next one. Who will take care of you when you're old? This one always makes me laugh. The thing is, not all children grow up to appreciate their parents. Not all children take care of said parents. You ever go to a nursing home lately? They are full of residents whose children don't come visit, or rarely come visit, or visit only on their birthdays and Christmas. You will find that a nursing home is depressing as fuck because they have nobody. It's just reality. I would rather take the money that I save by not having kids, put that towards a separate fund that goes towards private care. And that way, I got it covered. I don't need to bring another human being in this world just to serve me when I get older. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? None. Next. Oh, you'll change your mind. This one is both infuriating and amusing. here is my take on this one. Me, at the age of 24, if I were telling you that I was trying to get pregnant or that I was pregnant, that person would congratulate me and say, oh, you'll be such an excellent mother, you're going to love being a parent, children are the best thing in the world, blah, 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 all these niceties, all these positive things, right? So apparently, at the age of 24, or less in many, many cases, a person is old enough to decide that they want to have children. However, at the age of 24 and even older, sometimes into people's 30s, they're not old enough to decide that they don't want children. See the hypocrisy there? That one boggles me. Absolutely frickin' boggles me. It amuses me. The hypocrisy amuses me a lot. But it's also it kind of angers me just a bit too. I don't know, it's a weird kind of paradox thing. But yeah, that's my stance on that one. Let's see. People who don't want kids are selfish. I covered this one in my first video, and I'll reiterate that point. Anybody who has ever made any decision ever has done it for a selfish reason. And those two sub-reasons are to either avoid pain or derive pleasure. Yes, not having kids makes me selfish because I want to avoid the pain. And there are so many types of pain that go into having kids, in my point of view, that it's just not worth it. I want to derive the pleasure I get from having a life without the burden of children. I'm not saying all children are a burden. Lots of people want children, and they are a great gift to them, and that's fantastic. But to me, no. There's really no joy to be found in me having kids. It would be a complete loss. It would be terrible. I know this. So, is it selfish? Hell yeah. But also think, was it selfish of you to have a kid? I can't think of one altruistic reason. You had kids because you wanted them, right? Want. Selfish. Not that selfishness is an inherently bad thing. People think that being selfish is a bad thing, but really, really think about it. It's really not a bad thing to be selfish. Greed is an entirely different thing. But looking out for your own best interests? No, not a bad thing at all. Next. What's the matter? You don't like kids? Well, I do and I don't. I like them when they're well behaved and not fussing, not crying. I know that kids and babies cry. It's what they do. It's in their nature to do so, and I trust them to do what is in their nature to do so. So, in that sense, I don't like that part of them. I like to be around them when they're happy, when they're funny, when we can converse. Even I like to be around babies sometimes too, even though we can't really converse, but as long as they're being quiet and happy, then I'm okay. But the second anything starts to go awry, it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm at my limit. I know my limits. And if I can't hand a kid back, if people are handing a kid back to me because it's mine and it's fussing, it's a trap. It's definitely a trap, and not one that I want to willingly put myself into. So that's the thing. Liking kids and having kids are not mutually exclusive things. Child-free get a bad rap because they think that we're baby haters, and yeah, some people in the child-free community can't stand kids. Not of any age, not even if they're being happy, or good, or well-behaved. They just don't like them, can't stand them, and that's okay too. It takes all kinds. And it's not like they wish any harm to befall a child ever, because that's just really evil and kind of disgusting, but it's just that, they prefer not to be around them, which is fine. So that's their limit. My limit is as long as they're being happy and well-behaved, then we're good. And we can get along just fine. But I know that having kids comes with the addendum that they will not always be happy and well-behaved, and there will be times where they just won't stop crying, and that will drive me nuts. Okay, next. What if your parents hadn't had kids? Well, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, would I? Next! If everyone didn't have kids, the human race would die out. No. False. 7 billion people on the planet, people. In fact, this is never going to happen. But if people stopped reproducing for the next 5 years and let the population die out, it would be a grand thing. It really would. Because there are too many people on this planet. We are consuming the resources faster than we can give them back, and it's kind of killing the earth just a little bit. So no, the human race is not going to die out just because some of us decide not to have. You aren't a real adult until you have kids. Really? Because look at all the unwanted children in the world. Look at all the cases of abuse. Look at all the cases of neglect. Would you call those parents real adults? Really? You have kids as young as 12, 13, 14, young teenagers getting pregnant and having kids. You call them adults? Really? There are child-free people out there, they pay their mortgage, they have a job, they take care of pets, they're responsible, and yet for some reason they're not real adults because they don't have a baby? What kind of sense does this make? It makes none. As you'll see in many of these bingos, they just make no sense once you put a little bit of thought into it. Next, the children are our future. Well, children may be the future. Today belongs to me. Thanks. People like you should have kids. Now this is kind of like a cute little backhanded slap. Like, oh, you're intelligent and you're respectful and la la la, so you should have kids. Well, no. I'm intelligent enough to know that I don't want them. Why, I should not have a kid because I don't want a kid. I have a brain, I use it, and that's the conclusion I come up with. So we need more smart people in the world, but it's not my job to create those people. And it's not your job to tell me that I should. The only reason to get married is to have children. No. What kind of ass backwards thinking is that? The reason you get married, there are many reasons to get married, and not just because you want to have kids. That might be part of it, but it's not the only Goram reason. Yes, I just said Goram. If you know the reference, you win 1,000 cool points. They're made up and they don't really matter, but you win them anyway. Next, children are a woman's greatest achievement. If this is really your standpoint, I feel very, very, very sorry for you. Extremely. Just think about it. Don't you want genetic immortality? No, I don't. I don't care if my genes go on forever. I don't want my genes to go on forever. Who cares? I don't. Why should you? You were a baby once too. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I had no idea. It's not like I don't have all these recollections of childhood memories, and it's not like my parents don't have tons of baby pictures to prove this. So what? Just because someone was a child once, that doesn't mean that they are automatically required to make more children. Just, wow. It's all worth it. Okay, this one is like beauty in the eye of the beholder. It is worth it to a lot of parents out there. It's just how it is. But for me, not having kids makes my life more worthwhile. If I had kids, I would not be saying, oh, it was all worth it. No, I'd be saying, I'm tired, I am run down, this was a bad decision, why the fuck did I ever do this? No, it's not worth it. Not to me, not to my viewpoint. Like I said, many parents find it worth it, and that's great. I applaud them. We need good parents out there, but for me, no. It wouldn't be. But the Bible said, go forth and multiply. Well, I don't believe in the Bible, so there you go. That just screws your whole entire argument, doesn't it? Don't you want to give your parents grandchildren? Well, my parents already have 6 grandchildren right now, and one of my sisters will probably have at least another kid, so they're good on grandchildren. Even if that wasn't the case, they would not pressure me for grandchildren because that's just the cool kind of parents they are. And I love them. And they're probably never going to see this, but you guys rock. Nothing is better than new babies. What kind of statement is that? No, you know what's better? I can name 1,000 things that are better than new baby smell. New car smell. Ooh. Freshly baked cookies smell. New puppy smell. Come on, you can't beat that. Just puppies. Oh. You got the scent of suntan lotion from going on a beach vacation, the smell of the beach, the smell of the salt air, you got the smell of beer, the smell of wine. You know, there's so many better smells out there I can think of than new baby smell. What the fuck? What about the family name? My parents had all girls. We're not carrying on the family name, and nobody gives a shit. The biological clock is ticking. Maybe your biological clock. I don't have one. I don't believe it exists. So, there you go. Shoot your argument all to hell. You forget the pain of labor and birth. No mother I have ever spoken to has ever said that she forgot the pain of labor and birth. Now, parents have told me that it was worth the pain of labor and birth, sure, but you never ever forget it. These are just getting worse and worse. These are just getting stupid. I'm so glad this is about done because I'm getting a little riled. It's the most important job in the world. Okay, I have said before in this video, yes, it is important that we have good parents out there. However, I disagree that it's the most important job in the world. We have other very important jobs, like EMT technicians, and surgeons, and firefighters, and so many other jobs out there that make our day-to-day life viable, that save us when we're in trouble, that take care of us when we're ill. I disagree. It is not the most important job. Maybe to a parent, yes, it is the most important job to them. But overall, in the grand scheme of life, no, there are so many other occupations out there that do great work. Plus fun, aren't you curious to see what they would look like? A little bit. However, they have software programs now that can do this kind of thing. You put yourself and you put a prospective partner or your actual partner, you slap them together and you get a kind of an idea of what a baby between you guys would look like. And there, curiosity fulfilled. If I made a baby just to see what it would look like, where's the return policy on that? I don't remember signing a return policy saying that if I don't like what I see, I can give it back. You can't. That's one of my biggest things, is that people will say, oh, just jump into it. Just try it. As if they're asking me to just try weed or something, and if I don't like it, well then I can always just stop smoking it, right? Not that I ever have, and not that I have any interest in trying it, and not that I look down on those who do. But it's not like that. If you decide to have a kid, there's no going back. That escape hatch, gone, shut, sealed forever. You will always be a parent after that point. Curiosity is not strong enough. It's a little bit intriguing, but there are software programs out there that can do that for me and save me that expense and save me that time and save me all that grief. Really, that's what it is to me, is a bunch of grief. And it's not necessary. So there you have it, folks. The biggest bingos and my reactions to them. If you have other bingos you'd like to see me discuss, go ahead and put them on down there in the comments. If you have other questions, comments, suggestions, send them my way. I'll get back to you in the next video. Expect one probably in the next week or so. I am not sure what I'll be talking about just yet, but I'm sure that'll be influenced by any suggestions you guys have, or I'll just find something else to talk about, or I'll just, like, blather on randomly, like I usually do. Alright, thanks for watching.